Perfectly excellent.
What is up, party people? Welcome to Perfectly Excellent. How's it going, Tim?
Oh, it's going pretty well. How's it going with you?
Cheers.
Drinking cold beverages out of mugs, are we?
Yes, this is going to be a reoccurring theme because Tim and I were talking about drinking out of mugs, and while it's pretty day to day in my life, I drink all of my beverages out of mugs. For you, this is kind of like if it's not a hot beverage, it's a bizarre.
It doesn't go in a mug. It goes in a glass or a bottle. But mugs are for heated things.
But what about just having the convenience of a handle for an everyday beverage?
I don't know, but you're dealing with all of that extra weight and unnecessary ceramic that I think counterbalances the convenience of the handle.
I think I can handle it. I've been training for this for a lifetime.
Speak for yourself. I'm still working up to that.
Yes, you are very frail, so I could understand that you need to reserve all of your effort.
No, it's just one of those things that I find kind of odd. I don't even remember why we were talking about it. I think I wanted to buy some mug, but I said if I bought it, I'd never use it. So what's the point? Because I don't drink coffee.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and that was it. And I was offended. I'm like, I didn't know that only hot beverages were reserved for mugs. And maybe there's a stigma attached to this, But I think it might be my mission to normalize drinking out of mugs for cold beverages.
For everything. All right.
So cheers. People drink beers out of mugs. Those are cold beverages most of the time.
Well, here's the thing. I do have a couple of glass mugs that I've used for root beer. But I don't think that's the same as what I would call a coffee mug, which is what I feel like you are holding.
This is a coffee mug?
In my opinion, yes.
Okay.
It doesn't mean it is. It's not a fact. I'm just saying I think of that as a coffee mug.
This is good. I'm glad we're getting, we've been friends for decades, but it's, doing these shows has really helped us, get to know each other just that much better.
It's important. It's important.
It's important.
But
I'm excited.
No stone unturned.
What's that?
No stone unturned.
Hey, I'm excited to talk about things tonight. We got a lot to get into. Blind boxes, Godzilla. Mm-hmm. But before we begin, as always, kicking things off with our invention exchange.
Sounds like a good idea to me.
Perfectly excellent.
All right. I know you were debating about what to share.
Yeah. Do you want to go first, and that'll help guide what the decision I make tonight?
I can. More than happy to. So, this is the first time I think I'm actually going to show a record. So probably the thing I collect the most, despite what my background might show, is records. I've been collecting records for a long time. I have a whole lot of them, and I still buy them quite often.
You do?
So I got some new records of one new record because, of course, I had to buy more than one version of it because that's what one does when one is talking about the new Swami John Reese record.
Oh, look at that. Very nice.
Swami John Reese, also frontman of Rocket from the Crypt, also in Drive Like Jehu, also in Hot Snakes, also in Night Marchers. The list goes on and on and on for quite some time. But this is one of his current projects. This just came out recently.
And this is just John Reese? It's
John Reese and a band of merry fellows helping him along. Okay. It's not a solo acoustic record.
Oh, okay, got it.
It's a full band, but it's the Swami John Reese record. So there are two versions of it.
Mm-hmm.
The standard version, 1,500 copies pressed, is on yellow vinyl.
With a little red in there, I see.
Little red in there, little swirl. Yeah. In the funny thing that Mr. Reese always seems to do when putting out stuff on his own label, which this is, Swami Records, the limited 500 copies pressed is on black vinyl. Black vinyl is the rarer version.
Make the collector nerd sweat with that one, right?
Absolutely.
That's cool.
The black vinyl was only available from his web store, and he's also going to be selling some on tour. They're going to be in New Jersey in 2 weeks. I will be at that show.
Excellent. Where in New Jersey?
In Garwood at a place called Crossroads, which I've never been, even though
I've heard of Crossroads. Yeah, I've never been there. So let me ask you a question. Which one of these gets listened to and which one gets, treasured and untouched?
I probably will listen to the yellow one because it's the less rare of the two.
Got it.
But I'm not quite done yet.
Oh, but wait, there's more.
There is more. So the folks that bought this on the web store, he sold 300 of them online, keeping 200 of them back for the tour. 136 random people who bought from the web store also got a 7-inch Swami mystery wax. So what a Swami mystery wax record is he basically is grabbing a bunch of like old 45s. I'll call them dollar bin 45s, but I don't know if it's quite that that crazy. And he's basically just putting his own label on it, so you don't know what it is until you listen to it. He also signed them, which I guess some people would care about that. I'm not an autograph guy, so it doesn't really matter to me. But the fact that I got one of the 136 copies of this is lovely. I have not listened to it, so I don't.
I'm curious. You'll have to report back.
I don't know what the bonus song is on it yet, but the album itself is outstanding. I adore it, as I do most things that he puts out.
Phenomenal. All right, very cool. That was a very exciting invention exchange. Kudos to you. All right, so and that has changed my mind, or it set my mind, not changed it, on what I want to show off today.
Okay.
So as you know, we are in the worst timeline right now in the world. So I'm looking for things to just kind of help me survive the day to day, because it is a grind. It wears you down, and the more you pay attention to it, the more I pray for that asteroid to just speed up and destroy us all.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but until that asteroid actually hits the planet, I decided to try to really surround myself with things that lift my spirit, cheer me up, and make me happy, just like your records and everything. And I've been eyeing these for a while, and I finally went in and picked up some prints from Disney Store. I've always loved this one of Figment and the Imagination Pavilion. So I held off because despite having free shipping codes, these were not free shipping from Disney, because they're matted. So I guess they ship them flat, and I guess that's a pain for people. But I got this one. There's a whole bunch. They have all the Epcot attractions and all the different countries and a lot of other things. But I got that and Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, which is the new roller coaster over at Epcot, and is actually my favorite roller coaster in all of the world. So
even better than the Aerosmith one?
Even better than the Aerosmith one. Yes.
All right.
A lot more fun. And Aerosmith is actually going away. Have you heard?
I have heard
with the Muppets. So bon voyage that. Yes, I'm excited. And again, it's Electric Mayhem will be taking over Rock and Roller Coaster. So that'll be a good time. But yeah, I'm excited to have those finally. And I just got to get them. So now I still have not framed a particular print that you gave me. I have more. I have more prints from Galaxy's Edge to frame and hang up, but hopefully I could do some rearranging back here, and it will be there at some point.
All right. Well, I hope for the best. I would love to see a certain item framed and hung up, considering that I purchased it at Disney World when I was like 12.
I know. I would love to see it hung up as well, especially now that I have a certain something that would go very nicely with it. And I don't want to spoil it, because one day it will be a very nice invention exchange to show it all together. You already know what it is, but
I am vaguely familiar with it.
Yes, vaguely familiar. Cool. Well, that was good stuff.
Yeah.
New records, new art. I think we're on off to a great start.
All right. Should we get to the main event?
Let's talk about the main event. And I'm dying to talk about this with you, because I feel like I know where you come from in regards to blind boxes and things like that. But I want to hear you say it out loud and see if I'm on point. I feel like I'm much more tolerant of them because I've put up with them for a long time. When I actually got into toy collecting, I used to love like the Kid Robot, all the blind boxes. It was like nice going into New York and grabbing something like that. But yeah, like how do we dive into this one?
The only way I know how.
Perfectly excellent.
We need the transitions.
That was good. Sorry.
Yes. So, I mean, blind boxes are kind of new to me. Not that I wasn't aware of them until recently, but they didn't really enter my world much recently. And then suddenly, as someone who does collect some Godzilla items, Super 7 has started doing a bunch of blind boxes. So they've been thrust into my world and have created some chaos for me from time
almost
to time.
Unwelcome, it sounds.
Yes and no. You know,
Okay.
there are aspects of it that I kind of enjoy, and there are aspects of it that I find kind of frustrating. There's probably a lot to unpack here, but
Literally. But
literally, because
Yeah.
additionally, I have bought my first ever flat of blind boxes, so a full flat of 12 to guarantee that I get a complete set. So we're gonna open those live. I have never in my entire life watched someone unbox something on YouTube, and now I'm going to do it. So I don't know what that says.
And you're going to do it repeatedly.
Repeatedly. I'm going to do it 12 times probably.
Okay. Before we get it, let me ask you a couple questions of these. So,
Yeah.
so it's a series of 12, right? You said?
Yes.
And you're guaranteed a full set with each case?
So this one's kind of interesting in that most of the Super 7 sets, there's one chase figure per box of 12. This one, the chase figure, there's two of them. So there's actually two complete sets in here, which definitely influenced my decision to buy the whole flat.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Are you plan on like parting out? Like you're going to sell off one set, or you're...
That's kind of what I'm trying to figure out. Like,
Okay.
and that's what I want to talk about with you. Like, what is the best option to do here?
Well, it's interesting because again, I feel like to me, when I got into blind boxes, it was fun. It was just kind of the thrill of the chase. But then I did get into those scenarios where like, hey, I only want one or two of these particular figures from this series. And you're kind of stuck in that dilemma. Do I keep spending money and try to catch them, which I've done and unsuccessfully, or do you just go the route of eBay and just kind of pick them off one by one? I will say for the cases that I've bought, they don't quite like, I'll use Pop Mart as an example. I really like those Pop Mart statues. They did the Mandalorian, they've done Beetlejuice. You're not guaranteed a chase. That's yeah, and not only that, if you do get a chase, that means you're not guaranteed a full set. So the chase would replace one of the figures in the box. I think there's maybe 9 in a box. And then if you get a chase. So yeah, it's kind of like it depends what figures you're actually chasing.
Well, let's get into the thing, because I figure we can talk while I'm opening these, because I can't imagine anything more dull than watching in silence as I open 12 boxes.
No, I think that's it's ASMR. Let's just listen to the crinkling and stuff.
Yeah. So I'm gonna start a screen share here in just a second, and the figures that I've gotten are the Godzilla Marasan reaction blind boxes. So the Marasan figure is pretty much the first Godzilla toy that was ever made. So this is Super 7's take on it. I do sort of have one. This is not the original Marasan. This is the Bullmark reissue. I did buy this in Tokyo several years ago. So this is what it's based off of.
Okay, looks pretty sleek.
It doesn't look much like Godzilla, but a lot of Godzilla toys don't look much like Godzilla, and that's kind of half the charm. So let's load up Mr. Screen Share.
Let's do it.
So this is the pack of Godzilla figures. We have 12 in a box. So as I pull these, I have a question for you. How many am I going to have to open before I get a full set? And I wrote my guess down so that you could say it without influencing me. How many do you think I will have to open?
But help me out. So there's 5 and a chase in each set.
There's 5 including the chase.
5 including the chase.
All right. So we got 3 of 12 clear green, 3 of 12 black and silver, 2 of 12 vintage brown, 2 of 12 Hawaii, and then there's 2 mystery figures. Even though there's question marks, you really just have to do math to realize there's 2 of them.
Yeah. Hey, let's talk about Hawaii. What's the story with that guy?
So I don't know as much about super old school Godzilla toys as a lot of people, but essentially this figure was made several times over and over and over again, repainted, exported to places like Hawaii. and that sort of thing. So there's been a lot of variants over the years. So this set kind of pays tribute to some of those variants.
Okay. Well, I'm going to throw a number out there and just say 9. By the ninth one, you will have completed the set. Okay, cool.
So I guessed 8. I guessed it would take me 8 to do that. So I'm going to start opening one of these. I don't know if what else you want to kind of get into.
I wanted to talk about why you're doing this. So I started thinking about blind boxes and stuff, and I was thinking about Lego minifigures, how they used to come in the little baggies, and it was like an art form to try to like feel and figure out what was in the bag. And I forgot that I loved doing that so much. And the reason I forgot about it is because they switched to these boxes now, which you can't figure out what's in there. But luckily someone made an app to scan them. And oh my gosh, is that Hawaii? What is that?
That's the chase. I pulled the chase on the first one.
Bonus.
So the first one was the chase. I don't know exactly what this is modeled after. However, it vaguely looks like the Aurora model in that it has like a glow-in-the-dark head and glow-in-the-dark feet, but it doesn't have glow-in-the-dark hands. So I don't think that's exactly what it is, but it seems to be sort of inspired by that. I don't know. I could probably look it up, but I did pull the chase on the first figure.
Not bad. That's a win right there.
Continue.
No, I was gonna say there used to be a series of Disney blind boxes. Oh gosh, they're the Vinylmations, and it was funny as you're pulling it out and you got the chase. It reminded me of we used to keep spreadsheets, like all the people that were into that, and they would write down the box layouts. Now I don't ever know if one box layout was the same as the other, but something like this, people would say, "Hey, I got the chase in the left front figure." So everyone would go and then try to pick that figure to see if they got the chase. So
yeah, there's no way to tell on these. They've done it so that there's really
there was no way to tell on those either. But it was just you would write down the position they were in the sealed case, and you would share that. So people would try to find a sealed case right on shelves. Now, what they do in stores a lot of times is they'll just take ones out of other boxes to fill in spaces. So it's never dependable. Oh, look at this! You're just going random.
Yeah,
I like your random picking style.
Well, I'm trying to pull a set in one go.
Okay.
Like that's the goal. If I can get a full set in 5 pulls, I win nothing.
Yeah.
So what are some of the other ones? Like what do you remember the first blind boxes that you started buying?
Yeah, I really think they were like the kid robot ones, because they used to have 2 stores, I think, in New York. And again, we would go in there and I would just like, I had no real agenda. I would just buy anything that looks cool. Oh, it's Godzilla. You won.
This is the shiny green one.
All right.
This is the 3 of 12.
All right. Very good.
Clear green, 3 of 12.
Very cool. Yeah. So I still have a lot of them. They were just random ones, but then again, I did like the Disney ones. So every time I went to Disney, it was like, I would just buy a random Vinylmation just to see who I got. And a lot of duds in that, but there were some fun ones, some like Pirates of the Caribbeans. The thing is, they were using the same mold for everything. And then I really liked it when they shift to different molds for different characters. So yeah, it's good stuff. And then recently, oh wait, you do another pick and then I'll talk about what I've been into recently. And then I'll talk about another shenanigans trick with that. Here we go. Box number 3. And is it Godzilla?
I'm very proud of myself that I prepared with scissors, so I wasn't.
Yeah, that was genius. I really thought this through, and it is.
Oh, it's the
bum bum ba bum. You got a whammy.
Yeah,
one whammy.
All right, so I've already pulled doubles on my third one.
You're going too fast. You gotta pace yourself here.
Don't want to peak too soon.
Yeah. So I'm going to share. So blind boxes that I've been getting lately are these Star Wars Disney Doorables. And they're just these tiny little 1-inch figures. Here, I could share a little bit. Ugh, as they fall all over the place. Like, I don't know. They're fun to photograph. Kind of little marsupials. But the thing with these, like I was talking about with the Disney Vinylmations, is there's a Google sheet online that will tell you what's in them based on, you probably won't be able to see it. You just see Mr. Screen Share, but there's a very lightly printed code. See it right there?
Mm-hmm.
and you could check those last 3 digits of the code against the spreadsheet, and it will tell you what's in each of these boxes. So that's been super, super helpful for getting the chases, getting and buying the ones that have the specific characters that I want.
Does that completely remove the point of them being blind boxes?
Yes. I mean, again, you have to be a super nerd to really know that there's a spreadsheet that has all this, but I'm sure the eBay resellers are fully aware of that, and they're going and scalping all the ones that, you know, are the most desirable figures. But for me, it saves me from just randomly buying until I get the ones that I want. So I'm okay with that. There's no thrill. Like, the characters that I don't want, I really don't want. Hey, Godzilla.
All right, so this is the other common one. This is the other one of 3, black and silver.
Okay.
So
I'm almost there.
We've done 4. I've pulled 3 of the most common one and the chase thus far.
But you got 3 out of 5 for what you need. So
that's true.
So
that's very true.
Take go middle. Go middle.
What do you wait? You want me like okay? So
do you mind if I pick one?
I don't mind if you pick one.
Wait, hang on. Shake it. Shake it. Yeah, see, the challenge with these is it's all the same figure. So you can't even do like, oh, this one should be heavier than another one.
Now, they haven't done all of their blind boxes like this. They've done several series of Godzilla blind boxes.
Okay.
They've done 2 runs of the old Shogun Warrior figure, like the miniature version of that, like different versions of that. Big fan of that. And then they've done several other ones where there are just varying variants of some of the mainline figures. Okay. So like there's a metallic set that came out somewhat recently, sort of. I've got some opinions on that we'll talk about in just a little bit.
And survey says
this doesn't count on my total.
It's Godzilla. Oh, you didn't have that one.
Nope, it's the brown one.
All right. Good job.
Of 2. There's only 2 in that set. So I've pulled 4 of them out of 5 boxes. That's not bad.
That is not bad. But the pressure is on now.
The pressure is on. Should I just do it then?
Let's take a breath. Let's take a minute. That's the one you're going with?
That's the one I'm going with.
Okay.
I feel good.
You feel good?
I feel strong.
Wait. Don't know. What are we missing? What's the last one we need?
We need the Hawaii one.
Okay. Yeah, I'm eager to see Hawaii. He looks so happy. Out of all these Godzilla, he looks like the happiest.
Wouldn't you be happy if you were Godzilla?
I would. I'm disappointed he doesn't have a Hawaiian shirt, but smells like bummer balls.
To black and silver.
It's okay. It's okay. Don't let it get you down.
So
shake it off. Just shake it off. We're still in the game.
I feel like you and I are going to have very different mentalities about blind boxes.
Okay.
For a couple of different reasons. You were just saying, like, talking about, oh, I'm just looking for that one, or I'm just looking for the chase, or I'm just looking for this, that, or the other thing, which I think probably comes with its own set of challenges and frustrations.
Indeed.
Whereas for me, especially with this particular line of Godzilla reaction figures, like getting the full set is super important to me. Okay. Right now, I have every single Godzilla reaction figure that has been released, every variant, every convention exclusive, every blind box. Like I have every single one of them. So I'm very invested in keeping that collection complete, because as soon as I miss one, it's kind of all over. It's like, well, what's the point?
Yeah,
which is silly, but
it's very sad then you don't have the Hawaii one. Like that's got to be eating you alive. Oh no! So aggressive. You knocked over the camera. You're so into this.
I nudged it. I nudged it.
All right.
I
love how they're all watching you. This is great. They're all like waiting for their Hawaiian brother to be freed from his plastic or cardboard sarcophagus.
Oh no, this box is getting mangled. All right, there we go.
Yeah, this was a sad one. I'm embarrassed watching this. Yeah, don't cut off There's Godzilla. Oh, and
Hawaii.
Wow. Look at that.
Hawaii.
I guess the episode's over. We're done.
So pulled it in 7.
Most
I think
impressive.
Via Price is Right rules, I think we both lose.
Yeah. Yeah, we went over. So
both went over. Not bad. Not bad. Yeah. So had I just gone to a store and picked those ones, which I probably would have done something like that, but I would have only gotten 5. I wouldn't have bought 7 of them.
Mm-hmm. So you wouldn't have keep buying until you had them all?
Well, that's kind of the problem with these is then it's, first of all, they've been becoming increasingly difficult to find. This one, I think, is only available from Super 7 directly and from the Godzilla website. So I imagine there's probably a lot more people buying full boxes of them than just single ones. Mm-hmm. But a lot of the ones that have come out have been like Target exclusives or Walmart exclusives. Mm-hmm. And they've been kind of challenging to find, period, let alone be able to pull the ones that you need. So as far as buying directly from stores, I bought the very, very first wave that came out. I bought 2 of those at a Target. Okay. And I got 2 different ones, and then I ended up getting the rest on eBay. I also bought bought a pack of 4 of them from a Walmart exclusive about a year ago, and I got 3 of the 4. That one didn't have any chase figures. It just had 4 different versions of it. So I got 3 of the 4, so I bought the 4th one on eBay, and I sold the extra one that I had. But a lot of these other ones, like, I haven't seen, period. So the only place I can really get them is eBay. And I mentioned the metallic set, which, you know what? I'm just going to move the camera. That's the metallic set.
Okay.
Right there. And they were Target exclusives, and they were essentially non-existent. You couldn't find them anywhere. They weren't even really on eBay. Like, no one was even selling them on eBay. And I've since heard that I guess there was some sort of distribution thing going on with Target where they didn't put all of them out at the same time. There's apparently still some being held back that are eventually going to make it to the shelves.
Interesting.
But I had to buy those piecemeal on eBay as they were coming up, and I probably spent 5 times as much as I would have needed to if I was just buying them normally. Like, I really overpaid for those, and I was really frustrated by it because, again, the desire to keep the collection complete, but also those metallic ones are by far the coolest ones they've done so far.
Yeah, they definitely looked much more individual than these just kind of different colorways here. So
yeah, well, it starts with the fact that there are several different characters. You know, you got Megalon, then you got Gigan, you got Godzilla 74, Mechagodzilla 74, and I think that
Steve
and Harold.
Oh, Harold, that was it.
I think that's the 54 one. I'm not actually positive because when you change the colors like that.
But I feel like this was super successful. This was, a big hit.
This was pretty good. But now here's the question: like, what do I do? What do I do with the extras? Mm-hmm. So my thought process is that there's another full set in here. So I pull the full set and I sell the full set on eBay. And I can probably pay for, you'd think, half of the box that way.
Okay. Yep.
And then I'd end up with 2 extra ones, which I could either just sell individually or I could give one to you. If if you want a little pal.
Yeah. I know I'm still partial to Hawaii guy.
Well, you wouldn't get a Hawaii because he's he's limited to 2, so he'd be part of that other set.
Oh, that's right. He was a limited one.
So yeah, you would get one of these guys if you wanted one.
Well, let me ask you a question. So would you open those, sell them as a set? Like, there's another chase in there, right?
Exactly. And so I think I would, because my thought process, again, if I'm buying an unopened box on eBay, I absolutely know that there's no chase figure in there because no one would be selling it on eBay if they didn't buy the box themselves and open it and find, whatever they're looking for. So I feel like the only way that anyone would buy this from me is if it was open, if they knew what they were getting. Like, why would you buy a sealed one? You can buy a sealed one.
When I'm browsing eBay, I'm looking for I don't want to buy someone's blind boxes, because the same thing. Like, I know you've probably already parted out the ones that you've wanted, and these are just leftovers. So I'm looking specifically for figures. So I think that's your play there. I think even putting together a full set would make someone's day, because if I saw that, like, hey, this is full set, I could buy it in one shot, I would totally be all over that.
Yeah. So that was good. That was successful. That was fun. And I know there's some folks out there. If you have any opinions on blind boxes, please hit us up in the comments. We're eager to get more takes on it. But I think the point of a blind box is supposed to really kind of drive that thrill of the hunt,
the thrill of the chase.
Yeah. Do you feel that when trying to find the things that you're looking for in a blind box?
I do. And again, there's a Pop Mart store in American Dream Mall. So we love to go in there, find a series that I want, and out of like whatever the 10 to 12 figures there are in a series, or 9 or 10, I'm like, I want these. And it's kind of like, I'll buy 2. And one time I got the one I wanted. Last time was, I think, from the Mandalorian series that I was talking about before. I didn't really hit. I think I got like the Moff Gideon and the Armorer, which were cool, but it wasn't like the Mando. So yeah, it depends. Like, sometimes I do feel that collector instinct where I want them all. So, but sometimes I'm really only looking for a few. And one thing in particular about the Mandalorian set from Pop Mart is there was a chase figure. And like you, I bought an entire case because I wanted to get that chase. And I got a full set, but I did not get the chase. So then I'm like, all right, well, there's nothing I can do. So I turned to eBay. Actually, I'm sorry. I turned to AliExpress because there was a lot of sellers that were selling just the chase on AliExpress. I ordered it. Maybe a week goes by, I get a message, sorry, that one's out of stock. Okay. I go to another seller, order it. And it's funny because each time now the price is jumping up, because I tried to buy it from the lowest seller. Now I've gone to the next. Sorry, it's out of stock. Okay. I go to a third AliExpress seller, and now the price is beyond what I wanted to pay, but my frustration level has kicked in, and like, I've been denied, and you know how it just compounds it in your head. Third time I buy it, same thing. Week goes by. So now it's been like almost a month, probably. I've been trying to get this chase. I'm like, all right, I'm just going to buy it off of eBay. Right. I give up. Fourth time I buy it from eBay. And I think you know what happens there.
He sent 2.
No, he didn't send any. He said, sorry, I no longer have this one. So at that point, I just gave up because the price now had reached, I'm beyond the ceiling I wanted to spend anyway. And I was really disappointed because it's a cool figure of Grogu holding or hugging one of the Azalians, the little like bad touch guys that run away. It was just a cool figure, and I really wanted to have it. And this was way back in like February. I wanted to have it to take a photo with for Valentine's Day. So that was a frustrating experience to try to chase that thing down. But I don't know. It really depends on the series, I think. Like, I know you are a completionist. So it's about getting them all. There's not like 1 or 2 that you're after. So
yeah. And I don't get that thrill of the hunt. I kind of just feel annoyed by it.
That you just have to do it.
It's just like, I just want to buy the figures. I don't want to have to chase them. I don't want to have to hunt them down. I don't want to have an annoying time trying to find them. I just want to buy them. So here's my question about that chase figure that you never got. Would you prefer them just release those figures in normal boxes and you could just go buy the ones that you wanted?
No, that's a great question, because I don't know. Like, if I could just buy it, would I have wanted it? But it's kind of that I can't get it, and like, or I don't have a direct path to get it. So it makes it more, it's like gambling, right? Like, it messes with your brain. Like, oh, now I have to get it. So I don't know. I don't know how to say it, because if I could just buy that damn thing, I would, because I'm so frustrated by it now. But if it had just come out that way, like, I can think of other series of figures where you can see all of them. And yeah, I probably don't buy as aggressively as I would. Yeah, I think the blind boxes, like they trick my brain into making stupid decisions, but it's also fun. Like it's that unboxing experience and the excitement and also the disappointment. It's all of life lessons crammed up in one little tiny blind box.
Yeah, because for me, I would just rather buy the figures. Like if I'll buy the whole set, just sell me the whole set. But having to hunt and peck and try to find them on eBay after the fact is especially frustrating for the ones that you can't just buy in the store. And that's kind of where I'm at now. Like when I have the opportunity to buy like a full flat like this, I'm just going to do that.
Yeah.
But the problem is I don't always have that. The next series of blind boxes is for this Godzilla brand that's coming out right now is a set of Godzilla -1 figures that are Target exclusives. There are 2 chase figures in that. So there's in every flat, there are 2 figures where there's only 1 of them. So I feel like I need a flat, but where am I going to get that? Like
you have to show up at Target like right as they put it out, right?
If they put it out, I'd buy it online. Like if I could buy a full flat online from Target's website, I would, but I don't know that I'm ever going to have the opportunity to do that. So I'm going to end up having to chase 7 figures out of this set. And I'm probably going to end up having to buy them all on eBay, which is going to be kind of annoying.
I could see how that would be not a pleasant experience.
No.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like, it makes me wonder. This is one of the things I was thinking about when we're talking about wanting to do this is who are blind boxes for? Are they for people like us to like drive themselves crazy and try to hunt down the one or many that they're looking for? Or are they more meant for the casual person who's walking around Target and goes, oh, Godzilla, I know what that is. And they just take one and they don't care what one they get.
I think it's for both. Again, when I think back to like the Kid Robot stuff, that was like when there was a new series coming out, there'd be a line out the door. Same thing with Pop Mart too. I had no idea how popular Pop Mart was. I'd never heard of it until I stumbled into that store. But there's adult collectors that just go crazy because they have to get a specific one. But then even like the kids, like I just got my daughter Penny, there's so many blind boxes. I don't know if you've looked at all the ones that the kids have, but all these different like mini brands and Disney brands where you open it up and there's like their little tiny like everyday objects in them, stuff like that. And I mean, she loves them. She just bought a whole bunch more Disney ones because she's got like a mini Disney store to fill shelves. So I think there is, it really depends. There's something for everyone. I think there's definitely a lot more of these targeted as kids, as like, just kind of an impulse buy. But for you and I, there's a little more precision there. We're definitely focused. I know when it comes to the Pop Mart ones, I look at ones that, hey, I'd like to take pictures of that. I think that's really cool. And then it's that, well, do I try and get one? Am I okay with getting any of these? Or is it, I just want that specific one. And then I'm going to go to eBay. Even again, these things that I talked about, and I guess I can open this one too.
Yeah, do it.
I know there I didn't want the entire set. There was only specific ones I wanted. And I picked this one out knowing what was in here. So I don't remember what it is. There's probably Andors in here, maybe a Grogu and something else. There's 4 in each. But yeah, I wasn't about to play around with these and search and get like I didn't really want Plo Koon or whoever else was in there. Try not to do this.
Everybody wants Plo Koon.
Everybody wants Plo Koon. I'm sorry, Plo. That was really callous of me to say that. Everybody wants you. Let's see. And these are cool. They keep changing up the packaging for these. Now they're coming in these little crates. But there was another series that had little squishy ones like this. I didn't want these, but it came in a sandcrawler, a Jawa sandcrawler. And I'm like, I had to have the case more than the figures. So, all right, here we go. And you can see they're nicely packed in there in their little tiny bags.
Good.
And here's, of course, you get like all the little the ones that are targeted as the kids. You get the guide. Shows you the rarity, your little
collect
checklist.
All 10.
What's that?
Collect all 10.
Collect all 10. I don't even know if Plo Koon was in this one. So that no, but this guy was.
Oh, Beldar.
Yeah. All right, let's take a look at what we got. So again, I'm pretty sure this was Andor and maybe Yoda and Grogu. And sure enough, the first one I open up.
Hey.
Getting ready for season 2 here. So I wanted to get K2.
Yep, very good.
And Andor.
I am actually rewatching season 1 for I think the 5th time this week.
Oh, nice.
To really get ready for it. And I watched the Prison Break episode last night. And man, if that's not one of the best hours of TV I've ever seen in my entire life.
One way out. One way out. There's someone on Blue Sky and on Instagram as well who's been photoshopping the owl from Skeleton Crew into scenes from Andor, like leading up to season 2. And it's just been amazing. He had him flying out of the one way out, like holding on to the owl, like flying out of the prison. I love that stuff. I think we should talk about what we want to see in season 2, maybe if we can before that airs.
Okay.
So again, there's 4 in a case, and these selections are really predetermined. Even like you go through all of the codes, and it's like you're always going to get these 4. So you are going to get some duds in the bunch. And that is I don't remember from the Acolyte.
Not that that was Rey.
No, that is not Rey. That is I forgot the character's name. Nothing against the character or anything. It's just this is one I'm not going to do anything with. I like the Acolyte, contrary to popular opinion.
I thought it was good. I'm bummed that we're not getting another season of it.
I know, me too. Just when it got great, right?
Yeah.
Towards the end. And this was one of the, I guess, the rare ones, the Yoda there. But let's see. I think I already had that. Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Sorry. I'm knocking over the world. Yeah, I got Yoda over here and another one. All right, and this last one, it's got to be it's got to be a Grogu, I think. Nope. Ta-da. So I guess I probably just grabbed this one just for Andor.
All right.
So there was probably no like good set to get him in that had like better figures. But again, at least I was able to pick the one that I wanted, so I got the characters that I want.
Yeah. And you didn't have any interest in getting the full set. Like was Andor even one of the rare ones, or was it just one of the ones?
Well, let's look. Cassian is.
Survey says
Cassian he's a white dot, so he is a common. So let's see who is an ultra rare on this one. Lando Calrissian, which is hilarious that he was an ultra rare, and then just because
he's not an ultra rare, he's a man.
He's a man. He's not a system. And then this blue Luke Skywalker was an ultra rare. Riva Mon Mothma, and yeah, I don't know. I mean, what does really ultra rare mean about anything? I'll show you who is ultra rare, who I really wanted. He's rare to me. That was this little poor guy.
All right.
Yeah. Cool. I wanted to go back to talk about the Lego stuff really fast too. Yeah. Again, because this I felt like it was like a Jedi skill. Going into the Lego store and being able to feel these, like look for what unique pieces were in each bag. And I felt like I perfected that skill. I would be in there finding ones. People would ask me like, oh, can you get me one of these? And I had it down to a science. And then Lego they stopped doing this and they started going with these. So these are harder to feel. But it was really interesting. So what people were doing with these is they were taking the little like ear cleaning things that have like cameras on them, and they were like inserting them into here to try to see what pieces were in there. But ultimately what someone did was they developed an app where now you could just scan the code on the bottom and it'll tell you what's in every box.
Oh, there's different UPC codes on them?
Yeah, I think it's maybe this little code. I'm not really
sure.
But whatever it is, that is now like the art of finding the rare minifigures and everything is just completely dead. That skill that I developed for all those years has atrophied and is just not necessary anymore.
I was expecting you to start going into stores with like little scales and just like weigh everything to figure out.
They would do that for you at Disney World because again, those Vinylmations that I talked about, some were smaller, some were bigger, and it was mere ounces, but they would weigh it for you on the scale and help you try to figure it out. But It was good times. So yeah, I don't know. Like right now, I think I'm just much more strategic about it. Like if I see a set, I think I buy what I want. You know, I'm not looking to collect all of them anymore. So.
Yeah. Yeah, this is one of those things where I'd be kind of curious about what other people think about it, because I think that like the thing that's broken in my brain that makes me need to get one of everything, I feel like this makes it less fun for me. And maybe maybe you enjoy it more because it's not like, okay, I have to keep hunting until I get everything. It's okay, I'm going to hunt until I get the one or two that I want. And I think that probably affects your enjoyment versus mine.
Yeah. And again, it's tough because Pop Mart did a Beetlejuice series. And my first instinct was like I'm going to buy the whole set. But then I started to go through and I'm like, well, I don't know. I don't like the way that one looks. I probably wouldn't take pictures of that one, you know, the chase. And then I whittled it down to like, okay, I only need these 4. And then I know I didn't want to chance it. So I ended up just buying the 4 that I wanted off of eBay.
Yeah.
And then as I told you, you remember this, I had to buy 2 of them again because the guy didn't include the accessories. And though he did eventually find them and send me the accessories, so I have some dupes in my sell pile now.
Well, all right. Well, yeah, and we'll see what happens going forward. Super 7 is not slowing down on them. They just did they just released a Voltron blind box set,
no,
which is again very frustrating. But it's like this. It's the same figure over and over and over again. And it's like, am I really looking at plopping down $180 for a flat of those right now?
I didn't even ask how much these sell for a piece.
15.
Okay, so not
terrible. Bad for an action figure. Not bad at all. But again, buying the whole flat and then having to spend the time getting rid of the ones that you don't need, not my favorite thing in the world. So far, I have decided not to get the Voltron one. We'll see what happens. But that Godzilla -1 set, I really, really need to get that. So if there's any chance of getting a flat of those, I will do that. And then maybe we can do this again.
Yeah, you'll have to let me know. I'll keep an eye out for those. Not that I ever find any of these anywhere. So,
yeah.
But
anyway, there's the full set. Took me 7 tries to get it. Got some extras.
Beautiful.
I'll be unboxing those on my own at some other point. Coming soon to an eBay near you.
That's right. Maybe you can autograph them.
Maybe not.
Maybe not. Cool. That was fun. I enjoyed that.
Yeah, no, it's good stuff.
What else can we open? What else do you have that we could randomly open?
The skeletons in my closet. We can open. We can talk about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like we have something much more important to talk about.
Oh no.
It's time. You know it's time, right?
It's time to face the music.
Perfectly excellent. Perfectly excellent.
Fine, let's talk about it. I can't avoid this. We're running out of time.
It ends when? Saturday, Sunday?
The 6th. I think that's Saturday, right?
Okay.
So
we're talking about the dragon, the Mythic Legions dragon.
The Mythic Legions crowdfunding dragon, which has hit, I think, the all of the previously announced stretch goals. So they just threw another one in. You know, if it sells, I think 4,000, there's another figure that will come with the main dragon.
Okay.
Again, that kind of is neat, and to me, in a sense, like, okay, more fodder to sell to offset the cost. But I've been really flip-flopping on this. I was doing it daily, like back and forth. Like one day I'd wake up and like, you only live once, let's go for it. Then I would wake up and be like, I don't know, I'm not if I'm going to get my money's worth out of this. That flip-flopping is happening now hourly. Because I'm watching what's happening in our country right now and concerns about like what may happen in the next months, next year or so. And then I also start thinking, if I buy this, like, would I actually get my money's worth out of it? Like, how many photos of this thing can I take that I would get my money's worth? But then I think, hey, if I sell, all the stretch goals are included. If I sell that, it really takes the price down. And there's FOMO, like it's either buy it now or don't buy it. I think of other things I'd like to spend the money on. So all the mental gymnastics are happening right now.
Okay. You're running out of time for these gymnastics.
I am, and I'm getting very tired.
Time to hit the horse, Alan.
If I had to decide today, I would say no. I'm not going to back it. I think it's really cool. I don't know that I would really get my money's worth out of it. And even though previously when I tried to compare it to other things I wanted, I was saying, well, don't even do that because you can always buy that other thing some other time, whenever. Like this is like you can only buy this now. But I'm back to doing that, thinking if I buy it, you know, first of all, like we're talking a year and a half, 2 years before it shows up. And then second, like, am I even going to be taking toy pictures in 2 years? I don't know. Maybe I will have given up on it by then and this thing shows up. I don't know. I'm just, this is where my brain's going. And then if I buy something else, like get a new lens, that's something I could use more and more, or I could buy nothing and just, I don't know, whatever people do when they don't buy anything.
I have 2 questions for you. Yeah, I don't know what that's like.
Yeah.
If you ordered it on Saturday and it showed up the following week, would that change your calculus?
100%. That would change because again, instant gratification. Like I'm excited about it now. I have thoughts of what I want to do with it right now. 100%. But spending that kind of money and then just waiting and that dampens it a bit for me.
What about just buying the extra head with the flame effect?
I'm still debating that. I think I'll come away probably with something because it is really cool. And I even thought like even maybe just the base dragon on its own without the 2 accessories. You can't go wrong there. So
and a lot of stretch goals now.
A lot of stretch goals included. And if I just stick with the base dragon, that stretch goal will cut it down significantly. That included figure in there with all of his doohickeys and his
Sir
fist
Bennigan
on his stick.
But if you don't get the wings, you don't get Sir Charbroil, correct?
I don't. But I could live with that, I think.
Okay.
I think.
So what are we going to do about this? How are we going to track
I feel like there should be some kind of tracking or chart, or we should be capturing the trends. Like today is like a no.
Yeah. Tomorrow, Alan's going to be all dragoned up.
I am. Yeah, I think maybe we'll have to connect again before Saturday. And I think maybe we could live stream as the countdown goes.
We were talking about maybe doing that, just seeing like if I can just badger you into it.
Yeah. And there's someone else, our friend Chris, Pincy Picks on Instagram. He's in the same boat now. He was like all in, and now I think he's down to 50%. So it'd be good. It'd be good to put everyone on the spot and pressure them.
What time does it end?
I think it ends at like 11 p.m. So I'll be past
my bedtime.
Yeah. We could fake it though. We could do a fake countdown and nobody would know unless we do it live. Then everyone would know.
I did go to a show on New Year's Eve once, and it was a show where I was with the I was backstage with the band, which I hate saying that because it makes it sound like I'm like, but not at all, because it's just a punk band. It's not a big.
There really is no backstage.
Yeah. I was not. We were not on the stage. We were next to it in like a dirty little pit. When it was New Year's Eve and they missed it, and then one of them just goes, "Oh, we missed it. Just go on stage and start counting." So they ran on stage and they just started at 10 and started counting down, pretending like they never missed it.
That's phenomenal. So that means you can fool an entire club of punk rockers the same way we used to do with the kids when they were younger, and Netflix had the countdowns that you could just play at any time. So it's good. It's good that those tricks never go old.
Yeah. Well, that was a long time ago.
How far did you miss it by?
Just a couple minutes, I think.
Oh,
I don't really remember because this was like New Year's of 2000. So
okay.
My 25-year-old memory is not great anymore.
It was a different New Year's. It was back then. They did things differently.
Yeah. It was Y2K. We thought the whole world was going to end. Little did we know we had to wait 25 years.
Who knew? Yeah, I think that'd be fun. We should definitely do something. I don't know. I got to think it through. Part of me thinks just buy it, and then I could have a year and a half to decide what I want to do with it. Right? Like if I change my mind, I can't imagine it would be difficult to sell.
You could probably unload the whole thing without even opening it.
Yeah,
it's already in shipping boxes. Just put a label on it and get it out.
Yeah, I'll give someone my receipt, say go pick it up. Because that's the thing. I would do the local pickup for it. I wouldn't do the shipping.
Yeah, so you don't lose that money. Because here's where I come from. Because again, I have no vested interest in it. I don't collect that figure line. I certainly don't need a giant dragon. I already have I have several giant Godzillas that he's my dragon of choice.
Mhm.
But I know that you do like figures in this line, and I know that this is something that I think you could probably do some real damage with, as far as like making wacky photos and stuff like that. So as your friend, I really want you to get it, because I know what kind of satisfaction it's going to bring you when it does finally show up. And I also know that if you don't get it, for the next 2 years, I will probably have to have conversations with you about it, about how you should have gotten it. And when it comes out, you're going to have to buy it on eBay and blah, 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 blah,
Oh,
blah.
no way. This would definitely not be an eBay purchase, because I am sure it's going to be 100% markup the second it's thrown up on eBay for this.
So, yeah. So I as your friend, as your friendly neighborhood enabler, I encourage you to do it while you can, because the one way that we are extremely similar as collectors is the second we can't have something anymore, we want it way more than we did before that.
Yeah. The harder it is to get, the more it drives you crazy. Yes, I understand that. All right.
So
I've got
maybe to be continued on Saturday. We'll have to see.
Definitely.
All right. I don't have anything else. Do you?
No, I think I'm good. You've given me you've posed a hefty dilemma. I need some time to reflect and think on this.
Well, anyone who's watching this should also reflect on it. Maybe badger Alan a little bit. I think it's good for him. I think he needs it. He needs a win.
Yeah, I need a win. It's a good thing these dragons aren't in blind boxes, because then it would be like a fiasco.
Very nice. All right. Well, hey, thanks to everyone who has watched this, and we will be back sooner than you want.
Awesome. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.
Good night.
Chat soon. See ya.
Perfectly excellent.